Okay, class, let's take a look. Now, we are in verse number 199. Let's take a look. Now it's about in the 10 ground, the 10 ground of Bodhisattva. Class, basically, I try to recall you that. Bodhisattva, there's totally 52 stages, and it takes 52 kappa to complete it. Okay, and then in the very beginning, once from the very beginning, the stage, until to the first, go to the first ground, okay, it take one kappa, okay. Then for the number first ground, second ground, okay, then first ground you start, okay, you go to the seventh ground, it's a second kappa. Then for the eighth ground, then you go to the finish, become Buddha, is another eon kappa, so totally 3 eon kappa. So now actually we are in the, because it's totally 52 stages, so okay, so we are in the last 10 stages. We call it as the ground stage of the Bodhisattva. This Bodhisattva, they are all sage. Okay, they are all sage. Okay, so now we go to further it. Then once we finish this, we go to talk to the Buddha, the value and also the definition of the Buddha and the merit of the Buddha. Because why it takes 3 kappa eon, the reason is because in order to attain the body as a Buddha and also the wisdom as a Buddha, you really need such a long time. As your information, I'm able to find out the information in the Theravada that there is there's a Buddha available from the past, present, future, and the 10 direction, and also they also mentioned that we take eon, a very long time for the Buddhahood. We got the information there, so we believe before the splitting between the Mahasamgika and also the Theravada, they also have a mutual consciousness that yes, there is a Buddhahood, and then it take a very long time, okay. But the only thing different is they will we got 6 paramid, but they have a 10 paramid. That's the only difference. Okay. Now we come back here. It's a 10 grounds again. So let's try to begin with the 199. Yes, Sally, can you please read the passage?
At the 10th ground, that of the Buddha cloud, all Buddhas shower light upon the Bodhisattva's head, with increased wisdom and pouring the rain of the Dharma. Like a great cloud, the Bodhisattva helps the good grow. The 10th ground is called the ground of Dharma cloud. Attaining this ground can be compared to receiving the title of Crown Prince and ascending the throne. In India, a Crown Prince has to be ritually baptized before he can ascend the throne. Water taken from the 4 oceans is poured over his head. The Bodhisattva who reaches the 10th ground is the Dharma Prince, the one who has reached the stage of next in line for the high position, and is about to become a perfectly complete Buddha. When this happens, all Buddhas of the 10 directions give off a great radiance, which showers upon the Bodhisattva's head. This means that the light of Bodhi wisdom from all Buddhas have entered the mind of the Bodhisattva, whose wisdom has become identical to that of the Buddhas and whose treasury of Buddha mind is full and pure. It symbolizes becoming a Buddha. This ground is called the Buddha cloud because the 10th ground excels the 9 others in the parameter of wisdom. Only the wisdom of the Buddha can match that of bodhisattvas of the 10th ground. Not only can these bodhisattvas preach the Dharma comfortably, they can also manifest supernatural powers and appear throughout the realm of things. They pour down the great rain of Dharma like the torrential rain, so that all vegetation on earth, great and small, receives moisture and grows stronger. Bodhisattvas of the 10th ground have engendered great compassion from the power of their vows. Their blessings and wisdom are like dense clouds of varied colors and they are completely illuminate without fear. Like flashes of lightning, like the roll of thunder, they preach the Dharma in order to subdue Mara. In a single thought, they omnisciently and omnipresently appear in the numberless world, raining good Dharma, raining ambrosial Dharma. Thus, these bodhisattvas preaching the Dharma with supernatural power are able to nurture all good roots of sentient beings like a great cloud pouring down a tiny torrential rain.
Okay, thank you so much.
Come.
Okay, Mr. Leong finish. Okay, yes. Class, take a look. If you try to go through this, we call it as a Dharma cloud. In Mandarin, we call it as a 法云地啦. Dharma mean 法, cloud mean 云啦. Okay. So you can just try to write the Mandarin because it's quite meaningful to learn this. 法云啦. So I give you abbreviated Mandarin. 法云 Dharma Club. Yes, this is 法云. Basically, why they call it as a Dharma Club, that's the meaning behind it. Okay, class, just now we try to highlight the point. You will notice that it seems once you reach this stage, the wisdom, the wisdom is already, it's better than the rest of, of, of the stage, except except Buddha. I mean, the wisdom, the wisdom of the Buddha is the only one who can fight with the Fa-Yun, the Dharma cloud. And one thing, it seems that he create an example. He said, for the Dharma cloud Bodhisattva, it seems that he can use his supernatural power and make him present anywhere in the realm. Okay, and also he can preach the Dharma. It's just like the torrential ring, because once the torrential ring, it will ring everywhere. So for this Dharma cloud Bodhisattva, they can manifest themselves in everywhere and teach Dharma everywhere. Okay, so one thing again, our class for the Bodhisattva, the Buddha, it's very hard for us to use our layman, our mandate mindset to understand them. Quite hard. But of course, something we can try to discuss a little bit. For example, class, let's take a look. You see, a few things we still can discuss, even though we respect it. You see, okay, let's see. 10 ground is the Dharma cloud. You see, then you see the stage of being next in the line for a high position, because our class after the 10 crowd, this is number 10, right? Number 10 ground, so it begins. It's about to reach the Buddha already. Okay. So we say the highest level just next to it. Then you see the Buddha from the 10 direction give off a great radiance. You see, so meaning to say, class, once you reach the level, Buddha from 10 direction, they all shine towards to you. See or not? If let's say we want to make it to the animation from Pixar or Walt Disney, I think still the Mahayana Sutra is more suitable to make it compared with the Theravada Nikaya. Theravada Nikaya looks so boring, or just sit down there like human. But here, 10,000 of the Buddha, they all put the ray shine on the Bodhisattva. Really, the effect is very great. If you make it for the Pixar animation or Walt Disney animation, that's true. So that's why once people try to talk the difference between the Nikaya text, even though Agama also same, and the Mahayana, Mahayana have this type of phenomenon. It's very, how to say, it's very suited to become a Hollywood animation movie, because how to say, you feel very grand, very magnificent, very gorgeous. Wow, then next, let's see you see the 10 ground is exile the 9 other in terms of the wisdom. Okay, you see it manifests supernatural power appear throughout the realm of things. Okay, so class is one more thing. Sometimes I do discuss with my Dharma brother. I still found that actually we say we manifest through many realms, but do you think Elena, if you are a Bodhisattva, will you choose the animal realm for preaching the Dharma or not? Why you don't choose animal realm? On the mic, please.
Okay, sorry, cannot communicate the language. Can the animals hear and understand what I'm going to say to them?
I think yes. It's due to the Walt Disney. Am I right? Actually, we are more advanced than Walt Disney 2,000 years ago and make the animal talking, right? Until now, they can start to make the animal talking, but in the Jataka story 2,000 years ago, we can make animal talking already. Okay, of course it's no lah. So Elena, it's true. Basically, that's why once you do the liberation, sometimes some people will think, oh, we do the san gui to the animal, but basically they don't understand. If they are so, even though human also not that smart, can really understand how come the animal. Am I right? But anyway, we need them they are one of the factors to complete the process of the liberation. If animal if Elena, you refuse, you found that it's not suitable the animal, of course the worst is for the hungry ghosts and the hell, right? they are all in the suffering. I think they got no time to listen to the Dharma. What they want, they say, can you reduce my suffering? Not the Dharma. See, not. So sometimes what appears in the Dharma, it seems like we have to further to think how logic is it. So sometimes I think I don't know how to put it it seems how should I say? I think maybe the practical one sometimes it's different with the reality. But of course, if you talk about the Dewa, yeah, possible they always enjoy. They're able to understand, but they want to enjoy. That's true. Okay. Yeah, Elena, good answer. With the Walt Disney production. Okay. Yeah. So let's take a look and see how. So this is, we say, using natural power. But of course, one thing is, once we talk about, sometimes the people, I think all of you already don't have the mood to ask already. At least if you got asked too many, sometimes you ask, okay, but how come I don't see the Guan Yin? You see, or sometimes you say supernatural power manifests everywhere, just like a torrential rain. We have to discuss it further. Number one, if you're able to see the Guan Yin, a few things we have to, a few scenarios we have to negate so that we get the true one. Number one, if let's say you got hallucination, sure, this is not the real one. And second, if after fasting, there got some proof medically that you have a hallucination if lack of glucose or oxygen in your brain. So we have to negate this one if you see in these circumstances. Okay. And one more circumstances is okay. So these are the one, not the real one. So the real one is number one. I think if you are the medium type of the body, you can feel and see easily compared with the normal people. So that's why the media I know when they come to a temple, they say, yeah, the Guan Yin I'm able to see their level is higher than us. They're able to say so. It seems that they exist, but just we are too normal to communicate with them, you see. Okay, then this is one thing. Then what else is about the dream? For those if they're able to come to your dream, you must be also with a sensitive type of the body. Then you're able to dream that. Okay. So there's a few things. Yes, so that's why if they appear, and one thing is class, if let's say it appears in the jhana, it will appear like a picture, not in the animation. So that is my creation. If let's say it's a real one, I heard that it could be like an animation, 3D one. That might be the real one. If it appear like a picture, maybe it is mind-made or our samadhi power. So that's why there will be some contradiction because in our sutra, you always talk about the Guan Yin or Bodhisattva. Of course, it's good we are able to see them, right? Okay. But the point is, once you attain to the jhana, you can create certain things. You can create the Guan Yin. You want to see it. So that's why you have to be careful. So for Mr. Leong, Mrs. Leong, and Sally, no, you all because your samadhi power getting stronger with the nimitta. So be careful whether it is created by yourself or it is the real one. So must be with the wisdom. So that's why the Pure Land, the best Pure Land is not the external Pure Lands. The best one is still the inner Pure Land, and the Pure Land. We call it a 十相念佛, meaning to say that the Pure Land in the Dharma realm, meaning to say that there is something like a Nibbana. Because once they still got appearance, they still got appearance. This is not the ultimate one. The ultimate one should be from the five aggregate, then go into the Nibbana, which is totally all the appearance gone now. Then that is the real one. Okay, so please, since the samadhi is getting stronger, don't look for the Guan Yin and the head. There's something real want to appear to you. You should go further to the vipassana and to, try to get to see the truth behind all the appearance. Okay, get it? Okay. So next, let's take a look. Then, okay. Yeah, the duration. Now we go to the duration. Okay, let's see. Okay, see. Now, you see, this is omnisciently and omnipresent, meaning to say anywhere we can see them in any way. Then he say they preach the Dharma in order to subdue the Mara. Okay, class, have I ever mentioned to you that Mara is very handsome? And he is staying in the sixth century realm. Have I mentioned to you? Yes, he's very handsome. And then, for the more orthodox Chinese Buddhism, they prefer to keep quiet if somebody want to become the monk, because according to the legend, they say if the Mara got the news, they will come to destroy your plan for become a monk. Because once there's one people become a monk, meaning to say there will be less member of the Mara. So if you stay in the temple, like if you stay in the place like Master Xuan Hua, basically will be keep quiet because you worry that the Mara will come to spoil the plan. Okay, but if the Buddhism, it's the academic Buddhism, more on study one. Because they can't see the Mara, they can't feel the Mara, so they wouldn't buy this type of concept. Okay, but here I see you all is the half lah, right? You believe in half, you disbelieve in half. You wouldn't deny some I think you can feel it already. Actually, they got this type of stuff. Okay, next, let's take a look. Mara, then let me finish. Able to nurture all the good roots of sentient being like a great crowd pouring down a timely torrential rain. Yes, okay, so this I mentioned already. Yeah, Mr. Leong, please.
Sifu,
yes.
Accordingly, Mara is not really bad.
Oh yeah, not really bad. So you mean he's quite good, right?
Because I think if Mara can be in the sensual realm, then he must have done something good.
Oh, okay. Logically, yes. I think, yeah. Yes, you think it more deep, Mr. Leong. Yeah, because it's essential realm. But one thing is like that. Mr. Leong, for Asura, Asura also actually he stay just somewhere. Actually we can see the Asura in whatever realm, but Asura doesn't behave well. If Asura stay in the heaven, they used to fight with the soldier of the Deva. Okay, so meaning to say that the hatred is strong, but they're still able to reborn there. So meaning to say that within the good, there is still some bad apple there. Maybe Mara is the bad apple. Yeah. If Mr. Leong, you are able to make friends with the Mara, would you like to have a cup of coffee with them, Mr. Leong?
Why not? It is a good experience.
If that's the case, better with cappuccino than the coffee. Okay, we joke lah. Okay.
Okay.
So we go to the next paragraph. So Tuesday we have a cup of cappuccino lah. Elena, Sally. No, S&E. It's loud like a company of the software programming. Okay, next paragraph. The duration of the on the Bodhisattva way. So we go to this already. Okay, Elena, your turn to read, please. Okay.
The duration of the Bodhisattva way, 200. The way cultivated by the Bodhisattva passes through 3 countless kappas and 10 grounds. Whether Bodhisattvas become Buddhas suddenly or gradually depends on their different capacities. The way that the Bodhisattvas cultivate is as follows: resolving to attain Bodhi, receiving the Bodhisattva's precept, practicing the 6 transcendences, and 4 embracing virtue. The duration of the Bodhisattva's practice is 3 great countless kappas. As for the levels that a Bodhisattva must pass through and the nature of the realm of things a Bodhisattva must realize, they are included in the 10 grounds. All these have been explained. However, there is one question that still needs to be answered. That Bodhisattva have to practice for 3 great countless kappa is the final conclusion of Saravaka Buddhism. But this does not necessarily hold true for Mahayana Sutras. The Da Shen Ji Xing Lun concludes that The sutra's indefinite explanation is a skillful explanation that from the point of successful achievement of the mind of faith to the point of becoming a Buddha, one does definitely need to pass through 3 great countless kappas. Nagarjuna's treatise has a different view. However, the process of becoming a Buddha can be either quick or slow, and that one may have to go through endless kappas. But can the practice of becoming a Buddha really be differentiated as suddenly and fast, or gradual and slow? Originally, there were 2 kinds of explanation regarding the 3 great countless kappa. The first was in terms of kappas of time. If a certain amount of time is 1 small kappa, then 80 small kappas equal 1 great kappa. 10 times 10 such kappa make 100 great kappas, and 10 of this make 1,000. Great kappas then become countless, literally numberless, but actually they are quantifiable. And with further computation, they increase to 3 great countless kappa. The sutras say that only after such long period of practice can one completely become a Buddha. The second explanation was in terms of kappas of virtual states. Depending on one's virtual states and the length of time necessary to become a Buddha varies. This is like counting a person's manual production per workday. For example, the output of a person who operates a number of machines may be equivalent to 30 or 100 workdays of manual labor. Something similar happens when one calculates the time needed to become a Buddha. 3 countless great kappas are still required. But since the kappas are measured in terms of bodhisattva's virtue, the actual length of time may vary greatly. According to Nagarjuna's...
Oh, okay, stop, please.
Okay.
Okay, wait. I just first, thank you. Okay, class, regarding this three great countless kappa, we have two types of the explanation. Class, take a look. You see, this is the number one. Okay, final conclusion for Stravaka, there is three great countless kappa. Okay, so we can see there's some calculation here. Once more, Elena, can you do us a fast calculation? How many zero here? One small kappa, 80 small kappa equal to 1 great kappa. 10 times 10 such great becomes 100 great kappa. 10 of this make 1,000. Yes, how many zero there, Elena? Are you able to count for us? Many zero should be, right? Don't know. Okay. Yeah. Who is good? Who is good in mathematics here? I think the calculator is good in mathematics. Maybe so many. Remember, the one guy. They really count for us. It's about 20 zero, something like that. Many zero lah. Many long, quite long lah. But here, actually, the point is not exactly to come up with a figure lah. Sometimes in Dharma class, always remember, we always mention we got 84,000 Dharma door, right? Always we hear that, 84,000. It's not necessarily exactly 84,000. It's just mentioned that it's so many. Okay. So we say, this is as much as the sand in the Ganges River. All this we always listen. So we know it means that it's so many. There's one master he mentioned, Indian, basically they are more like a poet. So the thing is it's very abstract, basically. Because the poet want to make things beautiful, right? So they say,一開口就好多㗎啦，好得人驚㗎嗬。So meaning to say that I think the number is not the exact point. Number one, we got two explanations. Number one is really you just take this time to become the Buddhahood. Second, it depends whether the accumulation of the merit is complete or not. If after this period you haven't finished the accumulation of the merit as a Buddha, you have to take longer time. You see not? So this is what mentioned in the text, two explanation. But of course, this type of explanation sometimes will make people scared lah. Sometimes maybe one life你都嫌長過頭 especially if let's say you are not healthy or maybe one life is already long and now you say 3 eon kappa, are you right not? So no wonder finally people prefer opt for the Western Pure Land or want to become an Arahant. It sounds more simple there. Okay, but anyway, it's up to you choose because I think I'm still using as a human to think about the figure. But sometimes the class, if you really can go into the jhana, do you have experience that 1 hour for good sitting or meditation, maybe just like a second only? They have the explanation. They have experienced that or not? So sometimes this time actually is a concept. Concept meaning to say that it's not the real one. Time is not the real, space is not the real one. Especially if you go to the Vipassana. Vipassana is the stages where to go to penetrate the time and also the space. So sometimes we have to think in a different way. If we just follow our mandate word, we do the calculation physically, or then just, it sounds not that logic. Maybe you still have to explain a different way. And I believe for those, actually, many years ago, I met one guy, I call him as a psychic guy. Once he really go through to recall the past life, he able to recall many past life. And according to his explanation, it seems really, for many couple lives before, really got the Buddha, all this thing, quite close to the Mahayana explanation, the way I see it. So maybe see next time if we're able to meet this type of people, maybe a Mahayana text is come out with this type of people who really able to recall numerous or kappa of the past life, then they're able to give this type of explanation. Actually, it's also happened in Theravada. So in Theravada, sometimes we talk about the Buddha of the Dipangala, also numerous kappa or numerous kappa from this life. Then they said there's a Dipangala Buddha. Then Shakyamuni met him, and Shakyamuni offered his hair for the Dipangala Buddha to walk through. Then Dipangala Buddha will try to predict, oh, you become a Buddha after how many lives. It happened also in the Theravada. Right, Mr. Leong? You heard about that, yeah, so meaning to say that the information is not the fake one. It's the real, it's authentic information. Okay. Okay, next, let's take a look. So this is something we have already discussed. Let me check. Okay. Yeah, so this is the item we have finished. Now here, this is the item. Attain body, attain the body, bodhisattva precept, blah, blah, blah. Then you see, this is the final conclusion for the Stravaka. But Mahayana, no. Mahayana means who? Means the Nagarjuna treat this in a different way. So this is by calculation. We count the 3 yuan kappa. So this is the one. It depends on the merit, the accumulation of the merit. So next, according to Nagarjuna, yeah, maybe Mr. Leong, you try to read See how good your Wi-Fi is. It according to Nagarjuna discourse.
According to Nagarjuna discourse, bodhisattvas such as Shakyamuni Buddha generally have to pass through the 3 great countless kappas. Some may require even more time, but those of especially sharp capacity do not need this long. Maybe the bodhisattvas Aswagosa and Asanga did not mention this because it is very rare to have such a sharp capacity. In any case, whether bodhisattvas become Buddha suddenly or gradually depend on their different capacities as is described in the sutras. What follows will briefly explain the duration of the Bodhisattva way according to the teaching of Nagarjuna Bodhisattvas, chapter on rebirth. Nagarjuna coordinated this text with the sequence in the Ruding Budding Yin Jing Sutra on the mudras for descent into the fixed and unfixed realms. Number 1, there are those who proceed as if they were riding a goat, having resolved to advance and move on for a long time. Some are still unable to arrive. It is said, for example, the bodhisattvas who have made the initial resolution, fish eggs and umbra flowers, these 3 things are similar in that there are many at the initial stage, but very few can come to fruition. This may well be the most common fundamental nature. Number 2, there are those who proceed as if they were riding a horse or in the sutra an elephant. They may need to practice for 3 great countless kappas or 100 great countless kappas before they can attain Anuttara Sanya Sambuddhi. Number 3, there are those who proceed as if they were riding on a supernatural power. This includes 3 categories. A, those who proceed as if they were riding on the supernatural power of the sun and moon. Nagarjuna subdivided this category into 2 groups. Some ascend to the level of a bodhisattva as soon as they make the initial resolution. Some ascend after practicing for a little while. There are many explanations of the bodhisattva level based on the Prashna Paramita Sutra, but the accumulating stage, in short, is the one from which one does not fall into the evil destinies, low families, or the domain of the 2 vehicles, according to the stages of practice in the Avatamsaka Sutra. The stage of making the resolution is the stage from which one will not fall. B, those who proceed as if they are riding on the supernatural power of the Sravakas, after making the initial resolution, they accomplish great bodhi and the way in the 8th aspect having partial realization of the first ground. They can appear in 100 Buddha worlds and accomplish the way in 8 aspects. C. Those who proceed as if they are riding on supernatural power of the Tathagata, after making the initial resolution, they are in accordance with prajna, transform sentient beings, and adorn the Buddha's land. These are the bodhisattvas of the skillful way who are between the first ground and the 9th ground.
Okay, thank you so much. We try to digest such a long passage. Okay. Okay, let's take a look, class. So now we go to the more details regard to the three countless kappa. This is according to the Nagarjuna. Okay, class, according to the Nagarjuna, there will be three great countless kappa, and some may require even more time. Do you remember Aswagosa and Asanga? Okay, so class, if you do remember, they are both of them are stay in the Petsawa, Pakistan. They were born in the Petsawa. For these two Dharma brother, Petsawa. Okay, why they are so famous? Because the Aswagosa, the Asanga, he traveled to the India and established the mind only school. Let's see, this is the Petsawa. He come to this Ayodhya. Do you remember we talk about three system, right? Number one is the emptiness, right? Second is the mind only, remember? So mind only is established by a Sangha. Both of them, they ordained as a Sarvastivada monk before. So they borrow some teaching from Sarvastivada to establish their own teaching for Asanga. Whereas for Asanga, so Asanga is so famous because he's the one who established this, the mind only school. Remember we talk about Alaya, right? So Alaya school, this school is established by him, the Asanga. So please write down. So this is important figure. I just write down. I did assist Asanga. Recently, I don't know whether you, I don't know whether there's a news in English or not. The Pakistan Museum, Archaeological Department from Pakistan invite Fo Guang San and YBAN for visiting their archaeological Buddhism, the museum and all the research. I think maybe they work hard also because the majority are Muslim, but I think they have intention to, to keep this maybe also for tourist purpose, okay, to get more foreign currency. I think it is quite fair also. So if one day you go there, by knowing the Asanga, by knowing the Alaya school, they're all origin from Petsawa, and also they got one more Dhamma brother, which was Vasubandu. Vasubandu also in Kashmir. So he's in Kashmir. He go to listen to the Tapiposalan, Mahavibhasha Sastra, and then he rebut with the Abhidhamma Gussa. The Abhidhamma Gussa is very, very famous in Tibetan Buddhism. Basically, they will spend 3 years to study the Abhidhamma Gussa because they very emphasize it. But here, we are more, Abhidhamma Sangha is more popular here. But for Abhidhamma Gussa, it's more popular in Tibetan Buddhism. If one day you are able to meet, you can talk with a Tibetan monk, and he is able to speak English, you should ask the question regarding the Abhidhamma Gussa. Okay, they are very famous, but the point more on argument and debating, rather than in Abhidhamma Sangha, we are more on Samatha Vipassana. Okay, so that's why my time I study in the college, Buddhism study college, my teacher emphasized me, you shouldn't put too much time in Gosa for the time being, because if you finish a lot of time in the controversy issue, it end up not that concrete. But you spend a lot of time to study regards to Samatha Vipassana, it will be more useful for you for cultivation. You get it? The controversy issue is very good for academic study. There will be a lot of endless controversy in Abhidhamma Kosa, I think. Okay. So this is something regards that. Okay, yeah. Actually, I'm having the class from Asanga, the masterpiece from Asanga. Actually, I'm having the class now in Erti. So let's take a look. You see, this is the more brief diagram. You see, number one, with the scarce blessing and dual capacity and very weak mind, so they may not attain to the Buddhahood. Okay, so here, this is very famous, these verses. Actually, these verses in Mandarin, it looks so beautiful, but once translated in English, the beauty, the aroma of the Mandarin poem gone already. See or not? Sometimes it happens in this way. We call it as 与子安树花，30英中多。Meaning to say that, you see, for example, this amra flower, fish egg and initial resolution. Initial resolution are those who make vow to become a Buddha. Fish egg, they got so many. Then amra flower. Let's take a look at amra flower. Remember amra flower, some define it as a amra flower, as a mango tree, amra flower. See whether it's a mango tree or not, mango flower or not. Is it a mango? Amra? Not, it's just an amra. Amra tree, amra tree, yes, Indian, Indonesia, amra tree flower, Does it look like mango, Amra, Okay, no comment, Sally. Sally, you like plantain agricultural, right?
Sifu, can you show back again because the screen is white color?
Yes, okay. Now this is the one. Does this look like mango flower?
Doesn't look like a mango flower.
It doesn't look like mango flower. Oh, yeah, this is the amra. Okay, amra flower. Not the mango lah. Doesn't look like the mango. So you see, amra flower got so many. It's just quite similar with a mango tree flower. So many flower, but just very few getting become a fruits. The fish egg also same, very few. So meaning to say that so many people make vow to become a Buddha, but very few really turn to become a true, become the true. So this is an analogy, very famous. Okay. So I think maybe we are one of the fish egg finally eaten by what? The fish eaten by the frog or eaten by the other animals. So finally cannot turn out become a real fish. Okay. Yeah, this is quite famous. Let's check. Can you check for me? 1, 2, 3. It is from Nagarjuna. 1, 2, 3, the reference. Yeah, it is from the Tachiturun or what?
Tachiturun.
Tachiturun Mahayana.
Yes.
Yes, okay. You see, class, meaning to say you've gone through so many contexts from Tachiturun. So one day, if there's a class in English in this Tachiturun, you can try because it seems, the quite meaningful, meaning to say the text is quite meaningful actually in Tachiturun. Okay, then this is the very beginning. Let's take a look. Number 1, all right. So we go to number 2. So number 1, no need to talk because they all, I see, may not attain Buddhahood, so no need to talk. And then after infinite, countless kappa, still cannot attain Buddhahood. Okay, the second one, you see, with a few blessings, but sharp capacity, you see, sharp capacity. So you see, gradually the 6 transcendence, you take 3 great countless kappa to become Buddha, still can become. You take 3 countless, okay. Then you see, in number 3, 1, we get A, B, C, you see. This is abundant blessing with a strong mind. So you see, number 1, the resolve, you see, after resolve, they enter the level, become of Buddha Bodhisattva, they enter the level. Second, after the resolve, they abide a little, they take a while to enter the level. Then you see the B, let's take a look. After resolve already, they turn the wheel of the Dharma. Just resolve, they turn the wheel already. And the last one, after the resolve, they start to transform the living being and adorn Buddha lands already. So meaning to say that there's a different level. The last one is the best. Just after the resolve, then he start to transform the living being already. So here is the point here with the So just now we mentioned here so number second one so the analogy could be we are riding a horse, you see. So we take 3 great countless kappa to become But here just now we mentioned ABC, right? So they actually all got supernatural power. Number A1, you see, with the sun and the moon. So they make the initial resolution, okay, take a little bit while, except that they shouldn't fall into the evil destiny, low family, or the domain of the 2 vehicle. So class, have you ever gone through the text that or some text mentioned that even though you fall to the 3 woeful state, it's better than you become an arahant. You go to the 2 vehicle. Have you heard about that? Because the reason that's mentioned this is because if you fall to the 3 woeful state, you still got opportunity to become a human, and from human you still can attain to the Buddhahood. But if let's say you become an arahant already, there's no way for you to become a Buddhahood. You get it? So sometimes in Mahayana texts, they will take a look to this point. Why they even mention this? Because it seems that we can pay more hope to the Bodhisattva. Because as long as there's a Bodhisattva, quite sure the Bodhisattva will turn the Dharma wheel. But once you become Arahant already, you say bye-bye already. So there will be no chance for Arahant to turn the Dharma wheel, and also for the Buddha. But Bodhisattva are willing to take the job to turn the Dharma wheel and endure the reincarnation. You see or not? So this is something, this is all mentioned in the Mahayana text, but it doesn't mention in the Theravada text. Okay, so we should see in this aspect why they say that they are rather, fall to the 3 woeful state than go to the 2 vehicle. Yeah, Mr. Leong, yes.
C4, isn't the Arahant a form of Buddha?
Oh, no. In Mahayana, it's different already. Well, they are quite bit different, even though the wisdom is about the same. But for the merit, the Arahant just maybe less than 1 kappa. It's quite different. For Theravada, Agama Nikaya, maybe they're just different with the Buddha and the Arahant are just the teacher and the student. But for Mahayana text, no. Okay, but one question I can ask you, Mr. Leong. Yeah, Mr. Leong, do you think that the way to become Buddha and Arahant is just different in Theravada?
According to my knowledge, it's more or less the same.
More or less the same. Okay, but you see, more or less the same. How about the merit? How about the jhana? How about the psyche? How about the wisdom? Are they the same?
Because the Buddha paramis are more than the Arahants, but then the thing they also have already achieved that level.
No. Yeah. That's why you see, if you talk about the wisdom, maybe it's the same. So that's why in the Nikaya, the difference is not muchly emphasized. We can feel the difference. Sure, they got different, but it's not much. It's not greatly emphasized. But in Mahayana text, yes, it's greatly emphasized a lot. The jhana, the psychic, the wisdom, everything actually is quite vast the difference. Because the psychic, for the Buddha, you can check with the heaven eye, with the mouth, countless kappa. But for Arahant, maybe just 500 lifetimes only. There's a difference, you see. So that's why there must be a different way to become a Buddha and Arahant. But just all this, Mr. Leong, I heard that this information had been how to say maybe it had been controlled by a certain group of people. They try to destroy this type of information.
Oh, okay.
Yes, this thing happened, during the compiling. There will be some prejudice and discrimination.
Political prejudice.
Yes, political involved in Buddhism also. So they destroy the information, then we cannot get the complete information there.
Thank you.
Welcome. Okay, here actually is quite same. Now everyone is getting better. This riding on the supernatural power. You see, after making initial resolution, then they complete the great body in 8 aspects. So the last one is the best one, you see. The one writing supernatural power of the Tathagata, you see, this is the best one, you see. After initial resolution, immediately they are in accord with the prajna already. So this is actually according with the diagram just now we shown. Okay, so we stop here.